समुद्रस्य हिमाद्रश्चैव दक्षिणं वर्षं तद् भारतं न भारतीयत्र सन्तति।
मैं भारत हूं, जिसकी सभ्यता और संस्कृति दुनिया में सबसे प्राचीन है। मैंने दुनिया को सहिष्णुता और सार्वभौमिक स्वीकृति का पाठ पढ़ाया है। मेरे देशवासी सिर्फ सार्वभौमिक सहिष्णुता पर विश्वास ही नहीं करते, बल्कि सभी धर्मों को सच के रूप में स्वीकार करते हैं। धर्म, समाज, दर्शन, व्यापार, विज्ञान, वास्तु, ज्योतिष, खगोल, नगर कला, स्थापत्य कला, नृत्य, संगीत और योग जैसे सभी तरह के ज्ञान और विधाओं का जन्म मेरे यहाँ हुआ है।
उत्तरं यत् समुद्रस्य हिमाद्रेश्चैव दक्षिणं वर्षतद् भारतं न भारतीयत्र सन्तति।
यानी समुद्र के उत्तर में तथा हिमालय पर्वत के दक्षिण में जो देश है उसका नाम भारत है, और वहां रहने वाले लोगों को भारतीय या भारतीय के नाम से पहचानते हैं। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम यानी पूरी दुनिया को अपना परिवार मानने वाले सिद्धांत में आस्था रखने वाली भारतीय संस्कृति जीवन उद्देश्य की प्राप्ति के लिए खास दृष्टिकोण के विकास का निर्धारण करती है, और वो सिर्फ जड़ विज्ञान नहीं है बल्कि चेतना का विज्ञान है और हमारी भावनाओं और अंतःकरण से संबंध रखता है। ये इसी ज्ञान, आस्था, विश्वास और परस्पर सहयोग की सनातन संस्कृति का ही प्रतिफल है कि वैश्विक महामारी की वर्तमान स्थिति में भी भारत के लोग शांति और धैर्य के साथ सभी चुनौतियों का सामना करते हुए अनेक देशों को हर संभव सहायता और सहयोग कर रहे हैं। भारत की सनातन संस्कृति और आध्यात्मिक जीवन पद्धति के माध्यम से सामाजिक विकास पर संसद टीवी एक कार्यक्रम इतिहास शुरू कर रहा है। इस विशेष कार्यक्रम में प्रख्यात अर्थशास्त्री और लेखक डॉक्टर विवेक देबरॉय विभिन्न विषयों पर दिग्गज शख्सियतों और लेखकों से बात करेंगे। सबसे खास बात यह है कि रामायण, महाभारत और वेद पुराण में वो गहरी रुचि के साथ लंबे समय से काम कर रहे हैं। उन्होंने अर्थशास्त्र, राजनीति और संस्कृत के क्षेत्र में 110 से अधिक पुस्तकें लिखी हैं। डॉक्टर देबरॉय को एक दिग्गज अनुवादक के रूप में महाभारत के 10 खंडों के साथ साथ 3 खंड में वाल्मीकि रामायण के शानदार प्रतिपादन के लिए जाना जाता है। इनके अलावा उन्होंने भगवत गीता, हरिवंश, भागवत पुराण, मार्कंडेय पुराण, ब्रह्म पुराण और विष्णु पुराण का भी अनुवाद किया है।
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम विवेक देबरॉय है। इस प्रोग्राम में सभी का स्वागत। प्रोग्राम का नाम है इतिहास। संस्कृत में इतिहास का मतलब है इति ही आस। दिस इज इंडीड व्हाट हैपेंड। इतिहास इज हिस्ट्री. History is being made every day. History is being made as I speak. History is being made as you watch. India's performance, Bharat's performance in the Tokyo Olympic Games is also history. But in this program, we will look at Itihasa in a very, very specific sense. Foundation रहेगा इतिहास और पुराण। इतिहास यानी रामायण, महाभारत, और पुराण का मतलब है अष्टादश महापुराण all of which were written by Maharshi Vedavyasa. But this series is not only about the texts. The texts are only a foundation. For me, for all viewers, it is like a yatra. It is like a Tirtha Yatra. We are all going to be pilgrims in this journey of discovering Bharat, discovering what it means to be Bharatiya, discovering what it means in terms of our Sanatan Sanskriti, our Parampara. We will learn about Bharatvarsha, we will visit places, we will meet interesting people, and that is the reason मैंने कहा मेरे लिए कम से कम ये तीर्थ यात्रा जैसा है। ये तीर्थ यात्रा जैसा है, आज हम ये शुरू कर रहे हैं। Thank you everyone for joining me in this journey, in the course of which we will discover our country, our itihasa, our legacy, our treasure, and we will discover a little bit about ourselves. We will get to know what it means to be Bharatiya.
इतिहास पुराण भारतीय संस्कृति की अमूल्य निधि है। जन्म से लेकर मृत्यु तक के हमारे सारे संस्कार रामायण और महाभारत के अलावा वेद पुराण की शिक्षाओं और मार्गदर्शन पर आधारित हैं। कहते हैं कि सभी तरह की परेशानियों की वजह अज्ञानता है। जो हम नहीं जानते हैं उसे हम मुश्किल समझकर छोड़ देते हैं या जानने का प्रयास नहीं करते हैं। जबकि सच्चाई ये है कि जड़ चेतन संबंधित सारे मानवीय ज्ञान का आधार वेदों को माना गया है। हालांकि वेदों की भाषा और शैली कठिन है और उपनिषदों में शामिल ज्ञान को आत्मसात करना भी मुश्किल है। इसलिए जटिल वैज्ञानिक तथ्यों को कथा और चरित्र के जरिए आसानी से समझाने के लिए जिस शैली को विकसित किया गया है उसका नाम है पुराण, यानी प्राचीन आख्यान या पुरानी कथा। आप समझ गए होंगे कि पुराण उसी गूढ़ ज्ञान का सरल और रोचक संस्करण है। इसलिए इतिहास पुराण भारतीय जनमानस के प्राण हैं, या यूं कहें कि वो भारतीय जीवन शैली के आधार हैं। श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन व्यास, जिन्हें हम महर्षि वेद व्यास कहते हैं, उन्होंने 18 पुराणों का संस्कृत भाषा में संकलन किया है। इनमें ब्रह्मा से संबद्ध ब्रह्म, ब्रह्मांड, ब्रह्मवैवर्त और मार्कंडेय पुराण हैं। जबकि विष्णु से जुड़े भागवत, गरुण, कूर्म, मत्स्य, नारद, पद्म, वामन, वराह और विष्णु पुराण हैं। शिव से जुड़े पुराणों में अग्नि, लिंग, शिव, स्कंद और वायु पुराण शामिल हैं। भारत के इतिहास पुराण के इसी दर्शन का प्रताप है कि हमारे यहाँ आम आदमी भी कर्म फल, आत्मा की अमरता और जीवन की निरंतरता में विश्वास करके जीवन के सुख दुख को एक साथ झेलते हुए कम साधनों में भी खुशहाल जिंदगी बिताता है। वहीं साधन संपन्नता होते हुए भी भौतिकवादियों को परेशानी, आशंका और भय जैसे अनेक बंधन जकड़े रहते हैं। कुल मिलाकर भारत आज भी एक मायने में उसी कालखंड का गौरवशाली जीवन अपनी जीवनचर्या में शामिल किए हुए है। जो दुनिया की किसी दूसरी सभ्यता में नहीं है।
वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः।
In this first episode, I will only briefly sketch out what we will do in the remaining episodes of the series. This entire series for me and for all viewers will be like a journey, yatra jaisa. Let me start with the word itihasa. The word itihasa means different things. In our particular context, we will take the word itihasa to mean certain texts. Narayanang namaskritta naranchaiva narottamam deving saraswatinchaiva tatah jayamudarayat. Even if you don't know Sanskrit, मतलब तो समझ ही गए होंगे, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है बहुत सारे लोग इस श्लोक से परिचित हैं। ये श्लोक जो है, ये महाभारत ग्रंथ का पहला श्लोक है। In our conception of time, there are 4 yugas. First, there is Satya Yuga or Krita Yuga, which lasts for 4,000 years, divine years, years of the gods. Then we have Treta Yuga, which lasts for 3,000 years, Dwapar Yuga, which lasts for 2,000 years, and Kali Yuga, which lasts for 1,000 years. If you add all of that up, kul milake 10,000. But between the yugas, there are intervening periods called Sandhya. Sandhya simply means joint. Some people may have heard that people perform special rites at the time of 3 sandhyas, the 3 sandhyas in the day. The first one at the time of dawn, the second one at the midday, and the third one at dusk. So, like that, between the yugas, there are also intervening years. If you add all of these, it comes to 12,000. And there is a cycle that goes on and on and on and on. We are now in Kali Yuga. In every Dwapar Yuga, a Vedavyasa is born. Vedavyasa is actually a title. The title of Vedavyasa is given to anyone who collates and classifies the Vedas. उन्हीं को हम Vedavyas कहते हैं. This particular Vedavyasa's name was Krishna Dvaipayan. He was called Krishna because he was dark. He was called Dvaipayan because he was born in Ireland. Deepa is island. And this particular Vedavyasa is 28 in a series of Vedavyasas who have come and gone, because I told you earlier that we have been through 28 Dwapar Yugas already. Krishna Dvaipayan Vedavyasa was a remarkable person. He was a prolific person because he composed the Mahabharata. He composed the Mahabharata in 100,000 shlokas. After that, he composed 18 Puranas, Ashtadash Mahapuran, जिनमें कुल मिला के 4 लाख श्लोक है. So, if we count all of that together, 100,000 shlokas, 1 lakh shlok in the Mahabharata, 4 lakh shlokas in the Puranas, 5 lakh. If I convert it into English words, it will be something like 14 million words. When we are going to use the word Itihas Purana, we primarily mean the Mahabharata and the 18 Mahapuranas. Most people have some basic idea about what the Puranas are, and they think that the Puranas are stories. The Puranas are much more than stories. Itihas Purana together is known as Pancham Veda. Pancham Veda means these are the principles of the Vedas which we imbibe in our daily life, in our practice, in our rituals, in our Sanskriti, in our Sanskar, as householders, as grihasthas. According to the definition, the Puranas are supposed to have 5 characteristics, Pancha Lakshana. First, Sarga, the original creation and the final dissolution or destruction of the universe. Within that cycle, there are sub-cycles of creation and destruction, and that is known as Pratisarga. The third one is the genealogies of the Devas and the Rishis, because the Devas and the Rishis are also born, they are also destroyed. The fourth one is Manvantaras. Manvantaras are periods which are presided over by a Manu. Today, we are in a Manvantara that is known as Vaivasvat Manvantara, because the Manu is Vaivasvat, he is the son of Vivaswan, Vivasvat, the sun, S-U-N, sun, Surya. And the last element that a Purana must have is a description of Surya Vangsha, the solar dynasty, and Chandra Vangsha, the lunar dynasty. मुझे लगता है सभी को मालूम है कि वाल्मीकि रामायण जो है या रामायण जो है that is about Surya Vangsha. Exactly similarly, Mahabharata is about Chandra Vangsha. But the Puranas are much more than that. They are encyclopedias, about Rajadharma governance. They are beautiful, beautiful poetry. They are encyclopedias about what we are required to do to practice dharma. They are information about moksha dharma. According to the Puranas, there are 4 objectives. According to Itihas Purana, there are 4 objectives of human existence, 4 purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Moksha is about moksha, mukti, nirvana. All of this is about liberation or emancipation, being freed from the bonds of samsara. But amongst crores and crores of people, as the Bhagavad Gita tells us, very few people will eventually attain liberation. The rest of us are stuck in samsara, and the Puranas give us a template about what we should do. And whether we recognize it or not, we follow the practices described in the Puranas all the time. When we go to a temple, that is based on descriptions given in the Matsya Purana. When we worship a Deva or a Devi, the construction of the Deva or a Devi image is based on descriptions that are given in the Agni Purana. When we perform a Shraddha ceremony, the basic description for that of the rituals is given in the Garuda Purana. So the Puranas are encyclopedias of our practices. They describe the sanskaras that we go through. In the course of this series, we will not only talk about these texts, we will talk about the language Sanskrita, from which all of our languages in one fashion or other are derived. We will have conversations with interesting people who have done research on Itihasa. We will visit places. For example, everyone knows about the 12 Jyotirlingas. We will visit the 12 Jyotirlingas. Everyone knows about the cities that existed in India, urbanization in India. We will visit these ancient cities. We will go to Ujjain. We will go to Varanasi. We will go to other famous places. We will talk about the Indus Saraswati civilization. All of these things will be covered in this series that is called Itihasa. Itihasa is history. History is constantly being made. This is one particular form of history that is part of our sanskara, that is part of our Sanatan Dharma, that is part of our Sanskriti, that is part of our Parampara, that is part of our legacy. As we embark on this wonderful, wonderful journey, we will rediscover ourselves, we will rediscover what it means to be Bharatiya, why we are here, what is it that is our identity, what is there that the texts say, what is the practice, And this is not only narrowly about Hinduism, this is about dharma. And the word dharma means yah dharyate sah dharma, whatever holds up is dharma. And it is this fabric that holds up society, it holds up and provides the foundation for our behavior as individuals, as householders, as parents, as children, as citizens, as kings. In those days, kings governed the country. As kings, it provides a template for everything that we do. It tells us what we must do to find that inner peace. Remember, whenever you chant a mantra, at the end it says, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Why Shanti thrice? Because the three Shantis refer to one, Adhibhautik Shanti, against Adhibhautik elements. Adhibhautik elements are elements that concern nature. For example, if it is not raining, that is Adhibhautik. Then there is Adhidaivik, which is not quite Adhibhautik. Adhidaivik is something that happens suddenly, completely unforeseen, like the corona pandemic. That's Adhidaivik. And Adhyatik is about one's own self, about one's own inner self, about discovering one's own inner self, discovering about one's own inner peace. That is the reason we say Om Shanti 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 thrice. And this is a process that we will go through and discover. As I said, this is not going to be a boring series of me talking to you. ये मैं नहीं करूँगा. हम सभी इसी पथ में, we are pilgrims together. We are going on this process of journey together. We are in this process of discovering ourselves together. All of us, those of you who are going to watch this, will discover yourselves. I will discover myself. We will discover ourselves collectively. अगले एपिसोड में हम आदि शंकराचार्य के बारे में बात करेंगे. हमारे एक गेस्ट होंगे. गेस्ट का नाम सभी लोग जानते हैं. ही इज पवन वर्मा.
न मैं मृत्यु शंका न मैं जाति भेता, पिता नैव मैं नैव माता न जन्मा, न बंधुर न मित्रम गुरुर नैव शिष्य, चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवोहम. Bliss and awareness, and look at the sense of appropriation. I am Shiva, I am Shiva, Shivoham. In any other religion this would be called blasphemy, but Hinduism allows it.
So we will talk to Pavan Verma and understand why he wrote a book on Adi Shankaracharya and what Adi Shankaracharya means to us. Namaste.
उत्तरं यत् समुद्रस्य हिमाद्रश्चैव दक्षिणं वर्षं तद् भारतं नाम भारतीय त्रिसन्ततिः.